Ladies and gentlemen, it's the fight game. He's Icewater, I'm Puma, and in this episode, what we're going to be talking about is the fights we want to see next year. Ice has a number of them. I'm going to just rattle off my three, and you can stop me at any point and talk about them. But my first one is, and I know we talked about it in other shows, Crawford and Canelo. I would like to see that in next September. I would love to see that next September. Give Crawford enough time to get his weight up and to get used to that weight walking around. Your thoughts on that?
No, I mean it's a fight that a lot of people want to see. They think Crawford has really a solid chance, and because just who he is, and stranger things have happened. But I think other people too are like, is he really going to be a match for Canelo? Particularly if they fight at 168. I think that's a lot. That is a lot asking for him, and I think to the average person or maybe just above average fighter, I think Terrence Crawford will go through there and just run through him. But Canelo has a way, man. He finds a way, and he a different dude. He's a different dude, and I think I just believe the weight would be too much for Crawford, and I think at some point he's gonna want to engage with Canelo, and that'd be to his downfall. But he wants to do it because he's gonna get major cash
Hit your cash, and
and
he
and,
doesn't like
and
to be
he's going to try
embarrassed.
to rewrite history. So I understand it. I'm not mad about it, but when I first think about how what he looked like, Crawford, that is at 154 in that fight against a guy that wasn't the greatest guy, and now you want to go to 168 against Canelo. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'll watch it, but I don't know.
All right. My second fight out of the three fights, just for shits and giggles, Joshua versus Fury. We've been waiting for this fight for a long time. It could be in the mid-year or later in the year, but I just want to see who's the king of UK. No disrespect to Parker and all the fighters that fight out of the UK that are champions, but I want to see this fight for once and for all. Your thoughts?
No, I mean, I think, like you said, just because I think it'll be cool for, overseas and they would have the platform. Eddie Hearn would love it. I think that's cool. But, I'm thinking that it may not happen next year, may not happen at all because once Fury put down a little man, he ain't gonna try, he's not gonna try to,
That's another debate for another show.
look, he's not gonna try to give Joshua no love on that because the way that Joshua lost to the big fella,
Boy,
voice, yeah, I don't know. I mean, but I like to see it. I think that I think that Fury knocks him out in like 5 rounds.
hmm.
I because and the only reason why I say that is just when I wanted to give Joshua some love and put him right back on being one of the top guys. He comes back. It's like old Kirk Cousins in football. Good Kirk Cousins, bad Kirk Cousins. You don't know what the hell you getting. Just don't want to put him on that level. Here we go again. It's the same dude. Just and maybe styles make fights. I get that, but it's just like I can't trust him.
All right. My last pick, because originally we said three or four, but you just kept going. So I'll wait for your list. Um, is Shakira Stevenson and Tank Davis. I would like to see those two guys get in the ring and fight it out. Shakira hasn't been looking impressive as of late, but I don't know if these guys have sparred before or they, have trained together. But I would just like to see these two little guys just go at it. And once and for all, Shakir kind of taking his spot in the boxing world. Your thoughts?
No, I think that's an amazing fight. I think when it does happen, if it does, it's going to be one of the greatest fights in boxing history. If they both are healthy and they come in at a good time, because it is a true contrast in styles, right? You got Tank Davis that goes around just at any time. He's getting better with boxing, he's getting better at being very patient. And then you got on the flip side, you just got the ultimate boxer, the guy that just kind of gives you a little Floyd Mayweather vibes and stuff like that too. But the question is that we always want to see. We know how strong Tank Davis is, and we know he's known for his punching power and whatnot. Could somebody like Shakur come in and handle that? Could he dismantle Tank Davis? Could he give him problems? And that's the one question that people want answered. Nobody's been able to do it before. We've seen Tank Davis fall behind a couple of different times, but he always finds a way to come back. and he got that one knockout punch. And the question is, as great as Shakur is, can he withstand the tempo and the pressure? And that's what I want to see from that fight because that I think if anybody can do it or at least hang around, it can be Shakur Stevenson.
All right. Let's go to your list, sir.
All right. We're gonna stay right in that pocket. I like that pocket. I think this is like a little rivalry because what happened in the past, and they fought in amateur as far as in the sparring and stuff like that too. And I want to see it because it's time to just settle the BS and let's get into it. And that's Tank Davis versus Devin Haney. I want to see that. Your thoughts?
That would be a tough fight. Whether or not Devin Haney would take that fight, I'm not sure because I don't see Devin Haney having the power of Tank Davis. And Tank Davis is like one of those fighters like Mayweather, where he gathers data, he's figure out what you're doing, and then all of a sudden he just comes in like a tsunami, and you can't stop it. We saw that in fights earlier, where I thought he was gonna the fighter that fought him earlier this year had him, and all of a sudden he just started stalking him, stalking him, stalking him, and then he just went down. So yeah, I'm not sure if Devin Haney, because if he thought Ryan Garcia's punch was hard, wait until you get to Tank Davis' punch, and if you get caught one or two times with that, you're in la la land. I'm sorry, and like I said, I'm not sure if Devin Haney can come up with a strategy good enough to beat Tank Davis.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Next fight would be uh especially at 140, because we're always talking about Devin Haney and he seems bigger and he seems like he's ready and his
Right.
dad keeps saying he's ready to fight anybody. So well, another guy's a talker, but he also has shown us that he can be a hell of a boxer too. I want to see Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez
That would be a good match. I like that. Why did you choose that though?
because I think that Devin Haney needs a fight to get respect back after what happened with Garcia with the yeah
Ryan Garcia. Yeah.
with Ryan Garcia. He needs a fight, and that fight because of Lopez when he's not arguing with his dad, he can really come across as a really top notch champion. I mean, he lost the belts before, but he's going through some mental anguish and stuff. And there's also the guy that he lost to is the guy that Devin Haney dominated twice. So to see them mix it up, and I like their both of their styles, and very smart fighters. I like to see how they would get into the ring and kind of try to manipulate one another and adjust to the styles because they both punch a little bit. Great boxers. It'd just be a great matchup just to see, and somebody that's big enough to really bang with or give and hang in there with Devin Haney as well.
Yeah, and Telefino Lopez said, "Hey, well, he wants the big fight, so here's a big fight for him right here." So I would welcome that match. What's your next one?
Let's see. The other one is really nice. For me, I like this too. A lot of people don't. I mean, you may not like it. Terrence Crawford at 154 versus Jamel Charlo.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I would like it because they've been jawing at each other for
yeah,
a long time. So I would,
yeah,
yeah, I would like that.
yeah. Because I mean, that's for everybody. Crawford wants a major fight, somebody that's worthwhile, and Jamel in shape at 154. It'd be a dynamite fight. I love to see that.
Yeah, I don't dislike that fight. I like it. I like it. And I got to go for Crawford in that
No,
fight.
no, no.
I've fallen out of love with the Charlos.
Yeah. But another fight because I think these would be two fighters that are looking to prove one really needs to prove himself, okay, and another one just kind of came off a tough loss, and I think it would be good to match these guys up to see does one guy really have it? He keep saying he does, but is he really ready? And that fight would be David Benavidez
hmm
versus Dimitri Bivol.
Hmm, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Because Benavidez is like a wild card,
Mm-hmm.
and Bivol is steady and straight. So could he get Bivol out of his game? It would be my question in that fight, and so out of his game that Bivol starts doing things that's not characteristic of Bivol and get upset. That would be my question throughout the whole fight.
Yeah, and but this is what Benavidez wants. You want the Canelo fight, which you're probably never going to get.
Mm.
But why not take a shot like this? And this guy's coming off something. He got this. Did you want to prove something? Benavidez, it's your opportunity. The opportunity.
Yeah, yeah, good matchups, man. Um,
Yeah.
you've been called the matchmaker, so yeah, go ahead.
Only from the great Buddy McGirt.
Yep, yep. He calls you a great
But
matchmaker.
let's see what other one is. Just because these two fighters, they're on the cusp of greatness, right? They're ready. They're right there trying to go to the next step, upper echelon. But neither one, in my opinion, has that fight, that monumental fight that you go. You remember that fight when he fought such and such? He was special. He went against a high tier guy, high quality guy on that level. And you remember that when he fought? And yeah, and I think they both need a fight like this, and this will be great for both of them. Early on, you say no because it was too early, but now we're running out of time because it's like they both looking for something, a chance to be great, and they're not ducking one another, but time is going by fast. So they might as well get in the ring and see who the best man is. And the man that wins is elevated to another level. And that now, I'm talking about Virgil Ortiz
Hmm.
versus Boots Ennis.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, because that could put either one of them on the next level where people are like, okay, we want to see them with tougher competition. Yeah, yeah, I see where you're going with that. Yeah,
Yeah. And we've been waiting on Boots Ennis for a long time to take a legitimate fight against
definitely,
quality talent.
definitely.
So that being said, let's keep it moving though. A couple little wild cards. Uh, yeah, let's do another one. Little wild card. Another situation where two men are, it's on the line, and what happens to them next? One could be out of boxing, or it could just be a wrap, or whatever. Uh, Lubin versus Tim Tszyu.
Hmm. I don't know if Tim. Well, I think he would take that fight. I think he, after he got embarrassed the last fight, I think he would take that fight to get back in the picture. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, yeah, and they both have something to prove because they both want to, and maybe net one more fight that might be it for Tszyu if he loses.
Yeah.
So Lubin, another opportunity. You say you ready? Still, you kind of like Anthony Joshua. When I want to give you love, and I think truthfully, when you look at how things come together, some people are just like blown away. I think the fight with Fundora was amazing, and that gave Fundora a lot more credit than most people wanted to, in the way he's been fighting lately. So it's going to be interesting from that standpoint too. Two more and I'm done. Another wild card before I get to the main event. Another wild card. David Benavidez
Hmm.
versus Jamal Charlo.
Hmm. Interesting. 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 Could be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Because you keep going after Canelo.
Yeah. Just
Jamal is right there.
yeah. Just fight people. Just
Yeah, and Jamal in the right mind or whatever, even in the bad mind, still is a tough opponent.
now. I think I can guess the next one, but if I don't, I got a honorable mention of a fight that I think you would like.
Okay, you want to do your honorable mention?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm thinking it's the same thing. I don't want to steal your thunder. So,
Oh, you already know what it is, though. I've been saying this since don't nobody though, but nobody, because ain't nobody else listening. It's straight up what it is. It's the monster
okay.
versus my boy Nakatani.
Right. Yeah.
That's Japan's finest. It's gonna be like I told you. This fight If they get it together, it is going to be like Manny Pacquiao, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Juan Manuel Marquez won. It's just two warriors, two dudes that throw them hands, two dudes that's fast, young enough. Get in there, let's bang it. I mean, as much as they give, I told you that Bam Rodriguez, all that love. These two dudes right here, I don't get it. I don't know how a dude is undefeated, undefeated, and he can't get in the top 10.
Right.
But Bam Rodriguez beat a couple old dudes. Now you think about fighting my dude that's about 79 in the division, Chocolatito. What the hell? Come
Yeah.
on up them 3 pounds, bro, and get you some real chicken wings.
I
When you
thought
see
Chocolatito quit. I thought he was going to retire.
long as they got food, beer, and cash. He that's who he is. I love Chocolatito, but he's just older.
Yeah.
So you do that. Come on up 3 pounds or 6 pounds and get you some of that Nakatani.
All right. Here's one I think you might love, and I think you mentioned it before. And I told you that there were three heavyweights that are pretty much done. But here's a fight that I think you'll love: Joshua versus Wilder.
You know, if they got anything left, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, 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 yeah. Because I think we wanted those three to fight each other. We already got the Fury Wilder. We got the three fights from them. But you always wondered what Joshua and Wilder would really do in the ring. Would Joshua now you kind of think that Joshua would get knocked out pretty much real easy, but could Joshua kind of come back to where he was 2 or 3 fights ago and outbox Wilder? And we were talking about this. Some of my guys were talking about this yesterday about not Tito Ortiz, but Luis Ortiz,
Yeah.
and how for 7 rounds he had to fight for 7 rounds, and then he got loosey goosey, and then got knocked out. So could Joshua take a page off of Luis Ortiz that fight and just stay patient, jab, outbox Wilder, and survive? Or will Wilder get that right cross in and it's night night? So that would be an honorable mention fight that I would tune in to watch, even though those guys are kind of past their prime.
Who was the other guy though? The one that beat. I'm trying to think of the guy that beat Joshua before and knocked him down. And when he came to the states,
Oh, I know
the
you're
heavy,
talking about.
the heavy set guy.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Ruiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know this is fantasy, but I got one for you. This is how I think about this. This is crazy. This is a for only entertainment purposes only. I
Not the
want y'all.
Tyson other guy, Logan, whatever his name is. Not that entertainment, but just
Uh,
I mean real
yeah,
boxing.
yeah, 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 yeah. So and 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 I know y'all gonna sound crazy, but I'm throwing it out there. And I know it would not be sanctioned or anything. I want it to be a bar fight. I want to see my man Tyson Fury in the same night at a bar fight Joshua, Du Bois, and Ruiz.
Oh, now he ain't gonna get past all three, man. Come
What
on,
you
man.
mean? You crazy? You crazy? He is nuts. Look, like he said, I ain't trying to be funny, but he did say, I guess, he said his mind wasn't really focused. And I'm not saying this should be anything like that, but he said his wife had some issues with a pregnancy and his mind wasn't all there when he fought your boy, the little man. So he said, we passed all that now, but do this, man. If anybody can do this in the same night, you know what? That he
Talk
just be
about you talk about George Foreman feats, man. I don't know. You got George Foreman feet. George Foreman fought like three guys in the same day, man. Yeah, he fought like three guys in the same night. Yeah, that's George Foreman kind of heroics, man. I don't know. I
like
don't know.
what I'm gonna do for the people. I'm gonna do it one more time for the people. I'm gonna do it for the little man's out the way. I'm gonna do it for the people. Bring them all on. I want the Joshua. I want Du Bois and I want Ruiz all in the same night.
Yeah, George
All right
Foreman.
here, right
I
here.
thought George Foreman lost his mind. I'm like, you gonna fight three dudes in one night?
hey, when you're a monster, bro, you just like that. I tell you, Tyson Fury. The reason why I told you he got all my respect is because it seemed very impossible when he fought, took the Wilder fights, and not only did he do it once, he did it 3 times,
Yeah,
and he took it on with confidence that he was going to win. And I promise you, in my opinion, I don't know if anybody else would have dared step into the ring against that man in his prime. Nobody else.
yeah,
That's why you didn't hear nothing about Joshua, all these other dudes that's supposed to be perpetrating the fraud at heavyweight. You didn't hear nobody calling that man's name except for one, and that was Fury. That
yeah,
he showed me. He was significantly showed me something when he, because I mean everybody else was getting knocked down.
yeah. Well, if he does fight those three, they need to make it a movie, Digstown 2, because that's Luke Gossett Jr. with the one. Remember when he fought all those folks? That's the way it's gonna be. Because man, I can see him fighting like people that aren't really like the upper echelon, like Digstown when Luke Gossett was knocking all them guys out. But them three, come on, man.
But that
Them
but
three.
Fury is that mentally deranged that he think he can do it all in one night. He was, you ask him, he's like, oh, there's no damn about it. I took down the little man. I can take it all. They're just club fighters. They're not real fighters.
He's Icewater, I'm Puma, and this is the fight game.